You fucking bastard! Yeah. Groovy, man.
Wanker.
No. Silly, man.
Pound coin holder. Split in half.
Yeah. Groovy, man.
Shut! Give it up!
No. Silly, man.
Hit it! Rewind!
Pound coin holder. Pound coin holder. Pound coin holder. Split in half.
Tata ticka chaka waka ding dong mesa shake shake a blah ding in tata ticka chaka waka ding dong mesa shake shake a blah ding in tata ticka chaka waka ding dong mesa shake shake a blah tata ticka chaka waka ding dong mesa shake shake a blah ding in
Pound coin holder. Split in half.
Yep.
Wanker.
Yep.
Pound coin holder. Split in half. Pound coin holder. Split in half. Feel your tits. Slag.
There you go. That's the beginning of our show, the start of our show, the introduction to our show this evening. Good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs News After Dark with myself, Jason Holmes, and my erstwhile friend over here. Well, not over here, actually. He's over there.
Over here, this side, everyone.
That way. See ya. My friend Jimmy Hagan. Good evening, Jimmy. How you doing?
Good, all good, Jay. Good to see you, mate. And how was your week been, or half week, I should say?
It's been okay, really. I've been, like I said before, I'm fucking struggling for fucking motivation and to try and find a bit of purpose and stuff like that. So I've pretty much been. Well, I'll tell you what I did this week. I've been at these cubes.
God, you squeezed it, did you?
That was a rape bastard to do that, fucker. That was a rape bastard. And there's this one, which is also a fucking bastard, which goes like sort of that way.
I had no idea that there were so many odd-looking fucking. I can't even call them cubes.
This one as well. You see, they were all. Oh fucking hell!
How are you, Jerry? JJ 462904.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, these. So all my cubes were all fucking in like this one as well. This is a weird one, right? Because it's got. It's weird, isn't it? Look.
I'm telling you what. Are you sure Salvador Dali isn't alive and still making really crazy fucking designs? I don't know. Odd-looking shapes, man. Kind of a bit mind-bending, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what they're like when you try and solve them as well. So you know, it's especially for the first time. I got my triangle as well, which I did this morning. Intuitively, I don't know anything about it, and I just did it intuitively. So.
Yeah,
I seem to be getting there.
I've been working a lot on the chest too, trying to reduce the amount of errors that I make during the course of a game, because I'm desperate. I lose concentration really, really easily, and that's something you just can't do in chess. Just making stupid blunders and mistakes, and it's like, What's wrong with me, for fuck's sake, man? I can't even keep it together for 15 minutes to the end of a game, like, without screwing something up, like, or forget to defend the piece, or, or no one went to a fucking attack. So I've been working on my chess as well too. So that's but it's good. It's fun. Like, it keeps the mind active, keeps it busy, keep you thinking, like,
Yeah, of course. That's what you've got to do. I mean, I only started cubing last year, so I've only been doing it a year. And I'm going to do. In fact, I think I'm going to do it next couple of weeks. I'm going to do a live where I solve the 10 by 10 live, so you can watch me doing it. And I'll obviously be talking like half that and half. So I might do that. I might do 10 by 10 live. Yeah. It's you need to keep your mind. You see, I'm 50 fucking 2. All Cubans these days are like 14, 15, and fucking in the 20s. 30s.
Don't worry about them, Jay. They'll all be dead with fucking heart conditions in a couple of fucking months. So yeah, you'll be the top dog. Yeah.
Only one left. Right? Oh dear, fucking me. Anyway, let's say hello to everyone who's in chat room this evening. Good evening if you are in the chat room, and also good evening if you're not.
Hi, Kitty.
Whether you want to take part in a chat or not, you are always welcome. It's an open house here. It's like Friday night. Friday night in the pub. Only not in a pub. No alcohol. In fact, I've got an alcoholic drink.
Well, I'm at the virtual water well this evening.
Oh, nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Hello to Jerry, son of Mick. Yuppie says, I don't know what that means, but yup, back to you, my friend. JJ as well, woohoo, good evening, JJ. 462904, on it first, on hello, boys, there we go. Jerry, son of Mick, JJ, Kitty, 21, non-violent extremist, and everybody else who's listening or not in the chat room, but anybody, just say hello to us in the chat now. We'll say hello back to you. But I've just been reading through a quite poignant Twitter post that somebody had made. And what they'd done is all the people who were pushing the juice that have since departed this mortal coil. Hello, Anna. It's quite poignant because there's people saying, I've had me whatever, and you blah, 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 and everyone needs to do it. And then the next thing, they're dead. And there's a fucking right long list of people that are, well known, that have just keeled over in last couple of years. There's fucking tons of them. But we lost, we lost her. I never lost her because I didn't find her. What's her name? Lisa Marie Presley.
Yeah.
Elvis's daughter.
She had an interesting tweet as well, didn't she? Did you see her tweet by any chance?
That wasn't her.
No, I know that. I know that. But did you see her tweet about when she first got the jab?
No.
Oh, very, very interesting. She was quite. She was a little bit reluctant, a little bit frightened. But then, after a week or two, she came up with a tweet and says, "I'm happy I done it now." So, I wonder, we should have a séance and see if she still feels that way. Ask her.
Yeah, it's a fucking terrible shame. It is a terrible shame. There's something going on, and we've all got our suspicions. There's plenty of. In fact, there isn't really. There's only a couple of fucking suspects in this. And I'm only saying a couple of suspects because I don't fucking know. I only know of one myself. But there's American football player, 45, BBC radio host had a stroke, Jenny Gow, 45. Of course, there were the lady from the northeast of England. Well, I can't remember her name, but she was a BBC presenter. That actually on her death certificate it says an adverse reaction to to something that was given to her.
Yeah. There was two radio hosts as well.
That wasn't her, that tweet. That weren't her. That wasn't her that was tweeting about. It wasn't her. It was just somebody said. It said Lisa Marie, didn't it? She was Lisa Marie Presley. It weren't her. I saw the same thing on Twitter. And then somebody pointed out that this were a woman who's still alive, who's a yoga instructor in Austin, Texas. So it was a bit of confusion there, but I mean, we're seeing this anyway, the confusion, the fog of war, because we are in a war. The fog of war is sort of gathering around, and we, I mean, what have you made today of? There's been a couple of things that have happened today. There's the bloke on BBC. Did you see the doctor, the cardiologist on BBC?
Asim Mulhatra, isn't it? Asim Mulhatra. I've been following him closely. Like, yes, I've seen that. That was that's been really doing the rounds. The fact that it was on BBC was quite
that's suspicious.
And the fact that it was him, like, and. Obviously, like, you've watched it, like, and it was like the nonchalant way that they were sort of like having a chat about it all, and and you think that it was a certain treatment that's been causing all this, and it was like as if like, this is what we're finding out now, is it? Oh, okay, and you think it might be the walkie? Interesting. It was like, okay, you can see the way that they're going to try to spin this fucking motherfucker. I think we're over the fence.
It makes me suspicious because the BBC aren't going to fucking allow that to happen. They would not allow that to happen without it being planned at all. No way on this planet. There's no way they would have just cut her off. There'd have been a technical issue or something. There would have been something immediately. It was planned.
Cut straight to the sports news. Yeah, absolutely.
Anything would have, wouldn't it? Satellite went down, or if they interview people on Zoom sometimes, and Zoom fucking goes down. That sort of thing. That's what I would imagine would have happened.
It wouldn't even have to be that quick, Jay, because we know that there's a little bit of a time delay because they know this kind of shit can happen. So what we're seeing is actually we're probably about 5 minutes behind of the show going out. So they have lots of time to organize. So this was clearly meant to go out. They're getting ready to drop this nuclear bomb, and they're going to try and see how they're going to get out of it somehow. And I know how they're going to paint it, like, we'll just have to find it out. Oh my God, why didn't anybody tell us? It's like, holy shit. But I tell you what, it's like it was odd. I just thought it was very, very odd, man. That they would choose why today? Why today? It was like there's a lot happening. Like last couple of days.
It's Friday. That is when all the big shit comes out. You look on a Friday, the stuff that they can chuck out there, and then I've got all weekend for people to forget about it. Because the people that read this media shit are going to be reading other shit. And that's going to take all this out of the mind. Look, that's whatever. I don't know what the gig is, but I know that they're up to something, right? They're up to something, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember seeing a few years ago, but it were in. Do you know Viz?
Yeah, of course I do. I used to live on Vits, like the fat slags and arse over tis. And
I once saw like one of them spoof articles that they have, and it was like a spoof advert, and it was like British government, and it said, "We know you're up to something. We just fucking don't know what, but we're gonna fucking get you." And that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it's been quite a crazy week, though. We've had a lot more sports people going down as well too this week. I'm just even every day, like I'm just surprised at the amount of cases that are being reported. Like it's just kind of nuts, really. It seems to be ramping up. I swear it's ramping up. Like, and like we're only hearing about like high profile cases. Imagine what it must be like among the commoners. Like, the people that wouldn't get any attention from the media and the like.
Yeah.
Just the ordinary men and women and the kids on the street. Like, it must be through the roof. If there's that many Hollywood stars and high profile sports people going down, what's it like at the lower ranks, man? It must be crazy. But then again, we know it's crazy with the excess death at the moment. Like, those numbers are not great, man. I have to say they're a little bit frightening now, to say the least. And, well, not frightening, because not frightening but because like at least we knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. Like, even though we had no proof of anything, but we kind of knew this was coming. So at least we're spared fucking the shock of it all now. Like, but imagine the poor people now who have actually decided to sign up for this drug trial, and they're just finding out now, and they've signed their kids up for these trials as well too.
They're shitting themselves, aren't they?
Oh, they have to be, man. Have to be. Either that or they're fucking drunk all the time just to not think about the fucking thing.
Yeah, well, that's also a good fucking that's also a good strategy as well. It's drunk all the time. Evening Robert, who's in chat room. Evening, Robert. He says, "Good evening at Raconteurs News." That's me and you.
And
Jason,
Trisha.
there you go. See, he just like adds it there at the end. And all you lovely people in chat, can I just say thank you to all who watched the show live and playback? That is Dr. Robert's show on Health Freedom UK. That was on Wednesday evening at 11
And a
o'clock.
good show it was too. I wasn't sure what to expect. I wasn't expecting a chemist with such knowledge. Very, very interesting. Extremely interesting, actually.
Yeah. It was, look, I was sort of busy, so I got half an eye on it. You know what I mean? I was watching. I was downstairs watching him on my telly, so I was watching him on TV and sort of like doing things as well. So I was sort of half listening, but yeah, we're a good interview as usual. Dr. Robbie, he'll have to go his own way soon, won't it? He'll be like, "Fucking what? I don't need you." Anyway, well done, Robert, and long may it continue. Keep going at it, mate. Keep going at it and getting your guests on, because you do a lot better job than I fucking would have done, because I just don't ever do any fucking research ever.
You'd probably end up on the show. He says, "Right, what are we talking about anyway? What is it you do? What's the story with you?"
Yeah. Do you know, when we used to when it was me and Andy, we used to do that because I did it on purpose, that I wouldn't. I said I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose because so that I wouldn't have to do any research or fuck all. But I used to say, like, I like to. Andy always knew guests, and I didn't. So I'd say I'd be like the listener's point of view. So I would, if a listener's probably not ever heard of the person that we're talking to, and so I'd ask the questions that I'd imagine the listener would be asking. So we used to do that all the time, and yeah, fucking mad. Thanks, Jason. Got 1,000 views. Amazing, brilliant. Yeah.
Wow, well done.
Views. Awesome, mate. Awesome.
You want to get her back quick? I tell you what, we were doubtful that she would appear because it was like booked so far. I thought myself that she wouldn't appear, but there you go, she fucking did. Wow.
No, I thought she'd turn up, but I thought she'd appear. I thought it'd go, but I just, I didn't know her, so I didn't know how the thing would go and what it would be all about. So well, good show, Robert. Well done, mate, and keep at it. And speaking of prodigies, if you do listen to this, Uni, I know you're probably not listening now, but if you're listening to this, can you get in touch with me, because I've been trying to get in touch with you. I've sent him messages on Telegram and stuff like that, and I just can't fucking. I can't get hold of him. I don't know. Do you know, it's fucking really pissing me off, because I think that he was badly. I think I treated him badly, and that's fucking terrible. But I want to make amends. So get in touch with me, Uni, mate, because I'm fucking. I listen to other people fucking too much. Anyway, come back, Uni.
Yeah, bring your friend Hitler as well.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Bring it along with you. In fact, what you probably have to do is you probably have to find him first.
Have you guys seen Hitler?
Brilliant.
Yeah, I miss uni as well. I miss uni. I sent him a message and I can't believe that he weren't straight back up. He normally he's like boom straight on top of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Boom, boom, straight on top of you. Boom. Yeah.
Oh, you could regret getting back in touch with him again.
Well, no. Look, I treat him really badly, and I was fucking terrible to him. So I just feel fucking terrible, and I just want to make things right. So there you go. Oh, Jimmy's here. There we go. Look at that. Who's that? Where's it gone?
I have no idea, Jimmy. But I have no idea. Just a black
What happened to
screen.
it? It's your stuff, man.
Oh, do you know what? I was wondering there. Oh, do you know what it is? Yeah, it's my stuff, man. Yeah, that's my stuff. Now I'm after kicking my stuff off the stream because I thought my stuff was getting in the way of Jimmy getting in. So fuck you now. Hold on, I'll try that again. I was trying to line up my screen share there. Oh, I tell you what, you gotta love the shit that happens when you're on live.
Oh, it's just amazing, isn't it? Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm reading something in chat room. I've got long trousers on today. That's first, but I only need one bit. Like, see in there. I always wanted that. I always wanted to have, like, a knot in the bottom of one of my legs, and no leg. I always wanted that when I was a kid. So now I've got what I wanted. Honestly, I used to see people with. No, I didn't really. Anyway, no wonder he has gone. Yeah, look, you all did. James, listen. Uni knows the thing. You don't know. You don't know what went on behind the scenes, and there was something that went on behind the scenes that I can't go into. But I do feel and this is just me personally, not anybody else. This is me personally, because at the when it all comes down to it, I'm the one that that's the one that's fucking, the buck stops at me. So yeah, look, he'll be back. I'll get him back. Don't worry. Well, I'll try. If not, I'll fly over to Washington. Oh, I'm going on holiday as well by end of month, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a week away at end of month. I just need some. I need some warms, particularly for my leg. It's not bad now, but it has been bad. So yeah. Anyway, end of month I'm going away. But yeah, let's just wait. We've got all sorts of fucking issues. We've got my wife closing the door on me, so that I have in my home a cabin. Can I hear something? What were I saying? I can't even remember.
Your wife, we were on knots in your legs, and then your wife closed the door on you, and
yeah. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. In fairness, uni is grand. Don't forget, people have off days. We just never know how people are really feeling. Come back, uni. We love you, brother. There we go. Here to that. Hope you get into the US, Jace. I fucking won't get into the US. Well, fucking hell, I'll have to say, I'm not getting in, am I? Nobody's getting. I'm on fucking no-fly list. We're on no-fly list from 2006. I was told that when I was arrested. I was arrested in 2006 for threatening to beat up somebody from who were in New York, and he turned out to be CIA. So fucking, honestly, this is the fucking funniest thing in the world. They got that was the time when I got out, and William William Rodriguez was outside waiting for me. Last one out at World Trade Center.
Right.
He was waiting for me outside, so that were fucking mental, man. Mental. Coppers are fucking stupid as fuck, aren't they? You have to be as fucking stupid as a fucking. Sorry, I keep swearing.
I'm going to have to pop out for a second, Jay, and get back in because I screwed something up. Like when I thought Jimmy had joined the stream, and by cancelling that screen share, I can't reshare it. So I've got to reload the page and shit like that before I can do screen share again. So I'll pop back in just a second, mate. All right.
Okay, no problem. We'll be talking all night about war, pestilence, or disease, various things going on in the world at the moment. Painful but satisfying, mascara. Hope it all fits. Annette Robot, send Uni a t-shirt that will bring him so much joy. I think Annette might have got the t-shirt. I think it was Annette I sent the t-shirt to before Christmas. Who I was talking about. Jimmy is still using VHS, yeah. It's we're talking about all of them because we've got war, pestilence, we've got all biblical shit, haven't we, going on here? Go on, mate. How you doing? Have you got it sorted now?
Not really, no. But I think I can share entire screen anyway. I think it might actually work this way. So. Anyway, yeah, that'll do. I can work with that. I can work. For some reason, I can't reshare a specific window that I wanted to share, but that'll work anyway. So, we've got pestilence. Have we got?
Let me just address this point while it's here. Let me just address this point while we're here. Someone's just said something in chat room. I just want to address this. Rupert Sheldrake having a go at Rodriguez's late husband, James Randi. That's interesting because James Randi, he was, William Rodriguez was James Randi as assistant or some daft thing for many years. And it's interesting that William Rodriguez is known as the last man out. And James Randi, who had this educational forum, like skeptics type thing, although they weren't skeptical of the government said they called themselves skeptics. And so what they did is they had a forum that sort of like tried to debunk all anything that was 9/11 related that they didn't know about. So that's interesting. We've got James Randi on one side and his former assistant Rodriguez on the other side. It's just another point where you can't trust. I wouldn't trust William Rodriguez with anything. Wouldn't trust him with anything. I've spoken to him on many occasions. I've met him, and I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him, which isn't very far because I'm not very strong anyway. But crazy man, crazy.
I don't know any. I don't know any of them. None of them.
Do you not?
No. I was never big into the 9/11 thing, you know.
You want to have a listen at Rupert Sheldrake? He is worth listening to.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely worth listening to. Right. Sorry. Go on. I interrupted you.
No, you didn't, man. No, I was just getting set up. Something I should have done before we got going on the live air. So I was just setting up my screen share and stuff like that. So that's all. There's no major rush on it, like, because beforehand we had another technical issue, like, and we might as well let everybody in on it. And you could see you, but I couldn't see you. But so we both had to log in and out. Eventually, it turned out me signing out of the studio and signing back in, and then all of a sudden I was able to see Jay's camera. So anyway, whatever does be going on with StreamYard, it seems to interfere with the setup process. So maybe we need to be in a little bit earlier, perhaps in future, because we do try to be in about 5 minutes before. I don't know, you probably get in a little bit earlier, do you, Jay?
It depends. Sometimes I do, and so it depends on what I'm doing downstairs and whether I whether I've just eaten me tea or whatever, but usually I need a shit before I would come on, and tonight, no exception.
He craps himself before a show.
I do. I have to have a shit before a show. I always have to have a shit. my pre-show shit. So I do that. But yeah, I do try and get on a couple of minutes earlier, but sometimes it just don't work out quite as that way.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you're in the middle of a shit and it takes ages, and then you go downstairs to get yourself a drink, and then you come back up and it's nearly time to go.
I know. I'm terrible because I always leave things to the last minute, you know. So I'm usually last man in, like, so always it has to be that way. I was always late for everything anyway, my whole fucking life. Never was in time for a thing in my life.
No. I'm same. I'm same. I've always been late and stuff like that. But anyway, just give us a quick rundown on what's because war's kicked off, had it?
Oh, I mean, gosh.
We've got this new thing that's coming out. I did notice earlier on. I did watch a little bit of the 6 o'clock news. I watched about first 5 minutes, and they were talking about Ukraine.
Yeah. Ukraine is a disaster zone. I brought the map up because we haven't looked at the map in a little bit of time. So perhaps we can have a quick look at the map, and we'll have a look and see where the battle zone is at the moment. So this is like a map. It's called liveuamap.com, and it's basically the Western sources map, right? So this is a map of the whole front line here. It hasn't moved a lot. If you notice, all the grey areas were previously occupied by the Russians. But what they done was, when Surovikin, who is the current commander, well, actually Surovikin has now been replaced by another guy. I can't remember his name at the moment, and I'll catch up. I thought I had an article about him, but I must have forgot to tag the damn thing. So, but anyway, so the Russians pull back down behind this line here, and they're regrouping. So the main battle at the moment has been around Soledar. And so Soledar, it was officially announced this morning that Soledar had completely fallen. But of course, you got the news here last Tuesday that it had fallen, if anybody was listening. But this morning it was officially announced that Soledar has fallen. So this is the city of Soledar here. Basically, see that it's the blue symbol there, and there's a little map, there's a little flag there which shows that the Russians have actually taken control of that. Now, this map isn't exactly up to date. It's usually a little bit behind the times because it's a Western sources map. It only gets updated every so often. So if you notice here in this section here, this is one of the last salt mines, and the Ukrainians are apparently entrenched in there. They've got a huge fortification there. But this line here, the Russians are actually, because this map hasn't been updated, the Russians actually are in control of this whole area here, down along, and they're in control of that little town. There's a railway station there, the little small town there. And the Russian forces map shows it as being that section there, which is not in their control. So this is the salt mine here. There's also another salt mine to the south of the town. This is the biggest salt mine. You might have heard that the biggest salt mine in Europe is actually here in this area. And this is the salt mine in question here. So the reports I'm getting are that, like, a lot of Ukrainian forces may have retreated into the tunnels beneath this salt mine here. So we've got a potential situation similar to what happened in Mariupol back at the fall. Was Azovstal, the Azovstal plant in Mariupol, where they all disappeared into the tunnels underneath the steel factory. So I think we have a similar situation developing there. So at the moment, the whole city has fallen, apart from that one small location where I showed you around here, around that salt mine. And apparently the Ukrainians are over here on this side of the railway line. This is the main railway line, by the way. There's a railway line that comes down along here, and it heads towards Bakhmut, which is down here, which is expected to fall very, very shortly, within the next couple of weeks. Bakhmut is one of the biggest distribution points in the whole of the Donbass region, and this is like the main distribution area for all the weapons and arms that travel up and down this front line here. So the thinking is that, like, when they take over this salt mine here in Soledar, that they will cut off this railway line here completely, and that will end a lot of the traffic along the railway lines heading towards Bakhmut, heading up north towards the God, what is Siversk, or there's a couple of towns up north anyway, which are in the fire line. Siversk, yeah, this area here is Siversk. But anyway, that's down the road a bit. I think the next one that's going to fall will be Bakhmut, and I have no doubt Bakhmut is massive. I think it's a city of about 70,000 people. It's a pretty big place, like, and it is massively fortified. It is probably the most fortified area in the Donbass, and they've had lots of time to fortify this place. And the Russians have been, they're actually in on the town now, like, but just on the outskirts. But there was an update earlier on today about this section here, and I followed a YouTuber called Military Summary. He does excellent reviews on the current battles and everything that's going on. He cross references with a combination of Ukrainian military maps and actual Russian military maps. So he looks at the differences and he makes comparisons. Now he's saying that this section here being new, this was not here before, right? This little section here, which is showing it under Russian control. Now, he pointed out that this section was not marked in on the Russian site, on any of the Russian military maps. So he thinks that this might be a mistake. So anyway, we'll just wait for more on that, right? So that's the main thing that's been going on in the area. And remember you spotted New York earlier on. New York is still on the Ukrainian side, so it still hasn't fallen. And also major updates coming from the north. Now the word is now that there are massive, like this is the country of Belarus up here. Now the rumor has it that there's a huge Russian force gathering here in these three dots here. These three areas, gone into these three areas here. They're on the Belarusian side of the border, which is that red line there. Huge Russian forces building up there. There could be up on 1 million soldiers building up around these areas, like, and nobody seems to know what they're going to do, but that those forces are within spitting distance of Kiev. Let's see if I can find Kiev here. Now, there's Kiev here on the map.
No, it's fucking.
So what's that?
It used to be Kiev. You'd get a chicken Kiev. You go, excuse me, in a restaurant or something like that. You go, excuse me, chicken Kiev and chips. And now you have to say chicken and chips.
Yeah, I get you. How is it they play? Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. I can't pronounce it properly. But anyway, there's a lot of there's a lot of spec. Yeah, sorry, Jay. Go on.
I'm just saying, pretty had Kiev. That's all. Go on.
Yeah. So there's a lot of speculation about this massive build-up of Russian forces. So, and nobody seems to know quite right, but it's speculated that something really, really big is going to come now, very, very shortly. Now, I know everybody's been asking about, like, how come the Russians are doing so badly in these areas, and what people don't realize yet is that the Russian army has not really been involved in this war so far.
This is what I was going to ask you. This was the question I was going to ask you. The BBC or whoever it were that I was watching, I can't remember which news it were, but I was watching a news channel, and the narrative seemed to be that the Russian army were getting so far, and then they were chucking mercenaries in.
It's not that they're chucking mercenaries in. The mercenaries themselves, they're called Wagner, PMC, private military company. So, yeah, the Wagner have been in operation. Wagner has been they were the ones that took Soledar over the last couple of weeks. They took it. They've been involved in a lot of the main battles, along with they've been fighting alongside the army of Lugansk and the army of Donbass, right? So, but basically, like they've been coordinating with those two forces. So, like, but it was Wagner that took Soledar. So the Russian army have not been in this battle at all yet, but we have 1.5 million Russian soldiers about ready to be unleashed, and so I think the war is about ready to start now. I think it's probably just going to start. This has been a kind of like a warm up, if I'm reading this correctly. I mean, over the last couple of days, we've had the Surreal, who is the main commander on the ground. He's been in charge of the Russian operation for some time now, over the last couple of months, and he's consolidated the main battlefronts on the ground. He withdrew all the troops down behind that lines where I was showing you there on the map. So, and because before there was a lot of mistakes made, they were too spread out, they were all over the place. So like Surovikin has sort of like managed to sort of like consolidate the ground forces troops and set things up on the ground. Now we have a new commander coming in at the moment. He's taken over full military control. He is the main general, main colonel of the tank forces. So the tank forces are expected to be coming into the battle now very shortly. I'm hearing lots of reports about the huge numbers of T-90 tanks heading into the battle zone. So they're serious pieces of kit. Like, they're the most modern tanks Russia has. So they're bringing their new kit now into the war. So everybody's expecting something to happen. Like, and I'm hearing rumors that like possibly tactical nukes going to be used as well too. It's been spoken about.
Fucking nukes, my arse.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. And I think they'd get away with using them as well too, because you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a 1 kiloton tactical nuke and one of those big giant fuel air bombs. You know, they'd kind of look similar. So no,
Ukraine's bathed in fucking radiation anyway, innit? So like, you know, from Chernobyl. So I would imagine, you know, a tactical nuclear strike, which would be a small nuclear device. Nuke, well, whatever they fucking call them.
Yeah.
They don't exist. They do not fucking exist. They don't. These nuclear bombs that we're talking about, they're big bombs. They're not nuclear, though. They're not fucking... Don't you think they would have dropped a nuclear bomb by now? Don't you think some terrorist organisation or government fucking terrorist organisation, government-sponsored terrorist organisation would have used one? You can fit a fucking... supposedly, you can fit a tactical nuclear weapon, a mini nuke, as they're called, in a briefcase. So why does nobody walk down? You know,
they're not. No, they're not what you think they are, Jay. They wouldn't be nuclear bombs as such. They're what they call dirty bombs, and they'd be sort of that's
nuclear ones as well. I remember. Listen, I remember back in the day they were talking about. I'm talking about just not long after 9/11. But they were talking about small tactical nuclear weapons, and a nuke that could go, because they were, when 9/11 had happened, it was all raw in America, weren't it? No matter where you were, no matter what position, no matter what political position, it was a raw day. It was a day that left a big bruise on America, and as a part of that, you're going to be, you know, as somebody who's an American, you're going to be part of that, aren't you? You're going to feel part of that. And so, for me, they used that to be able, because we had the anthrax nonsense. Remember that shit? Fucking anthrax being sent through post-it. We ended up being fucking talcum powder or some fucking shit.
Oh, yeah. So you reckon anthrax doesn't exist, no?
No, I don't. No, it's not that. It's just that I think that what they do is they get these... Anthrax exists. I know anthrax exists, right? I know that. And I know that it can be used. It could be used in a chemical weapon, right? I understand. So if they want to anthrax everybody, why not just release it in Times Square or in Washington or somewhere like that? Somewhere where there's a lot of people, where it could. There's no need to send it through post, is there? To certain individuals, you could just drop it. You could put it in a bin. You could drop it in a bin with some sort of timer on it or whatever. You could drop it in a bin and then...
like what happened to the Skirples in the Skirple case. Do you remember after the Skirples alleged poisoning with the Novichok, and apparently like somebody some street urchin found a bottle of perfume in his bin, and apparently that caused caused him to die. Was the Novichok that was used on the Skirple? What a load of bullshit, man! Load of bullshit. But anyway,
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. The whole fucking lottery, it's bullshit. The whole narrative is bullshit. If you think that if you think, right, well, I'm not going to fucking do anything because these people have got access to all sorts of different fucking weaponry and all this sort of shit, you know, that's half of the fucking battle, isn't it? It's half of it. It's half of it gone. The fear, that's all you need to plant in someone's head is the fear, and then job done. You don't need anything else.
so you don't think they're going to use the tactical nukes? No.
No, there is no such thing as a nuclear weapon. And if there is, there may be. Sorry, I don't think. In my opinion, there's no such thing as a nuclear weapon. Secondly, I don't think
what are they?
if there was, I don't think they would use it. Simply because I think the whole thing is an elaborate fucking like movie that's playing out in front of us on us TV screens mostly, because that's where most people get the fucking information from. Most people, I'm talking most people, I'm not talking us, but most people, that's where they get their information from. And it's just a game. It's just a part of the. You're worried about the hero in the. You know, you're worried about the hero in the movie, the Zelensky, who's Tom Cruise, who's fucking mad, by the way, Tom Cruise. Jesus
Christ, he's a nutcase.
Have you seen them fucking stunts he were doing? I mean, kudos to the bloke, 60 years old.
No, I wouldn't watch him because
he's doing stunts.
I've seen the picture. I've seen a picture of him standing at a cliff edge, and everybody talking about these. I wouldn't watch him, man. I just couldn't be arsed. I know what he is, and I just.
I didn't watch it. No, listen. I watched. I watched this thing. I'm not a fucking massive Tom Cruise fan, but you've got to give him fucking respect. He jumped this fucking thing in Norway, I think, somewhere like that, one of them places, or Switzerland or something. But he gets on his motorbike and goes out into, jumps off a cliff and then base jump, right? But he's doing the stunt himself. And I watched a thing about the stunt itself and how he was doing it. And he did it 6 times to get the take. So that's jumping off and then base jump off on a motorcycle. So he's going along like he's walking eagle, goes off at the end of this thing, and then base jumps onto. Let's go up motorcycle, base jumps.
Are you sure it wasn't CGI? Are you sure it wasn't CGI?
I'm positive it was CGI. No, I'm not actually. I'm not positive it was CGI. But I'll tell you what, if it were real, if it were real, it were good stuff. I mean, kudos to him. 60 years old,
yeah.
Off cliffs.
Come here. Have you ever seen any of the old video footage of them testing the big nukes?
Say that again. Sorry.
Did you ever watch any of the old footage of them testing the nuclear devices from years ago?
Oh, did you know they were nuclear, or could they just have been big bombs?
No, the technology, the technology exists.
Definitely not big bombs. No, couldn't do that, could they? You've seen it.
Did you ever see the testimonies from the British soldiers who were down to witness the events, especially the ones down in the southern ocean? Yeah, no, I'm convinced that they exist. Now, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Maybe they don't exist. I don't know, but
you're not stepping on anyone's toes. It's your opinion. If you want your opinion, everyone's entitled to their opinion. My opinion is not necessarily right. Your opinion is not necessarily right. We're just expressing our opinions. That's it. Yeah, well, having watched what I've watched and read a good bit about the tests and the people involved in the testing of the nuclear, and read a lot about some of the accidents that happened to some of the scientists before they even knew exactly how the stuff worked, and a lot of the scientists that actually had sad demises. So I'm convinced that this stuff does exist. And look,
You know, nobody has to believe it. Like at the end of the day, it's it's not
That's
my
the
business
thing,
to
isn't it?
convince anybody about anything. You know.
Exactly. But I do want to say to you something to you, right? And I know I keep doing this, right? And you know, when in 50 years' time, when all this is like, you know, there's going to be internet archaeology, isn't there? And people are going to be digging this up, right? And that's what's going to happen in 50, 100 years' time. Someone's going to dig this up from somewhere. And they're going to say, you see that there? I got that for Christmas. It's I got it for Christmas. Look, it says, "I owe Sheffield Wednesday." I put it up on because that's Wednesday's song. I owe Sheffield Wednesday. That's the Wednesday song. That's the they play it all fucking time. So I put that up on Tuesday, sorry. And what happens? Fucking Jeff Beck dies. He sang "I Owe Silver Lining."
And Jeff Beck, that was an interesting case. Now, I know he was 74, wasn't he, or something like
He
that.
was, yeah.
And so he had a good innings, like that, at the end of the day. But to be taken out by bacterial meningitis in the end, like, and what I found curious about bacterial meningitis is also one of the side effects of the you know fucking what.
Yeah. Of course.
So. Is it any wonder we're fucking conspiracy theorists?
Look, I'm not saying Jeff Beck's fucking death were suspicious or anything else. All I'm saying is that I put that up, and then a day later, the cunt fucking dies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dad got me that for Christmas, so my mum and dad got it me, bought it me for Christmas. So I don't know. No one had Beck in the sweepstake. No, he wouldn't. He were over 70 though, weren't he? So he wouldn't have been allowed. So that's no good. Nobody's died. Nobody's going to die on a sweepstake. Nobody. Nobody. If you want to be on our fucking, if you want to live forever, just be on our sweepstake. That's what you want to do. You want to get somebody to nominate you. But if there's any cheating, they'll know.
Yeah, and I just want to tell all the Hollywood stars and all the singers out there's nobody else getting onto our safe list.
No, fucking none of them. No, fuck that.
Not going to save any other cunts.
If we don't like somebody, we'll really take them off it, shouldn't we? Really?
Honest to God, I'm kind of sorry I nominated Amber Heard now.
Yeah. So fucking yeah.
I thought she would have committed suicide or had an overdose by now, but I think I don't know. Maybe she's still with your woman. Didn't she turn lesbian in the end? Or she is now anyway.
Who is?
Amber Heard.
Pink,
she turned into.
Pink, yeah. Is it Pink you're talking about?
Who?
Amber Heard you were talking about, weren't
Amber Heard, yeah.
Yeah, she's gone lesbo, hasn't she? Has she gone lesbian? It's pretty cool. At least she don't wear a personality on her, she don't try and wear a personality rather than having one. Martin, Holmes under. You know what? I'm pretty much. I think I'm rooting for Nick GB. Me. I think I'm rooting for. He's got that Martin Roberts who's off Holmes Under the Hammer, and I fucking hate him. I really despise him. He's sort of like one of them that's like hanging up. You know, one of them people that hangs onto their hair, like for fucking so that they've just like got a widow's peak. There's a big fucking bald patch like that. Fucking pointless. That Alexander, what's his face? He's got like this big bald patch and there's this big thing up front. And I think to myself, why? Shave it all off, man. Shave it all off. Bald is the most handsomest person in the world. And I don't speak on behalf of all handsome people. Right? I can't speak for every handsome person. But, I think get rid of your hair.
I hear the women go nuts for baldies.
They fucking do, don't they? Well,
how are you, Paula?
I would know that, mate. I don't know all about that because what with me being gay.
Well, how are you doing, Pete? What did you miss? You missed 2 elf farts just having a fucking mad old fucking time talking shite. That's what you've missed. How are you Spanish? Did we miss anybody here? We've got Kendo. Hi, Kendo. Mascara. James.
Starfish Troopers.
Yeah. And we've got Mick Ramo. Hello, Mick. Chris Partridge. Hi, Chris. And
And Paula's in as well. Good evening, Paula. A lovely text message again today from her. I have texted back, Paula. If you might not have seen it, she's not been very well. I hope you get well soon, Paula.
Hi, you Webby. Yeah, get well soon, Paul. Who's Galen Windsor?
Galen Windsor? No. Have you heard of him though?
No.
No, neither have I.
Oh, I'm not sure what that's in relation to even.
Shall we what's his
Do
name?
a Google.
What is it? Galen?
Galen Windsor. Oh, sugar. I'm after Galen Windsor. Where's it gone? Where's it gone?
I've got it. Galen Windsor. Kook Science, it says. He died in 2008, so he's crazy nuclear energy promoter. Now dead from leukemia. There we go.
Oh, hold on a second. I wonder, is that the guy who was messing around with balls of uranium and plutonium early on, saying how safe it was? Do you know what? Maybe that's the guy. I'm wondering.
It looks like he's dead. He died in 2008, but it says that he died. American chemist and nuclear plant safety manager who publicly denounced strict controls on atomic energy. Hang on, I've got to click on it now. Publicly denounced strict controls on atomic energy, arguing amongst other things that there has been a conspiracy by an energy cartel to misinform the public about the dangers of radioactive materials.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's not a bad shout, because when you look at Chernobyl, what's the town next to it? It begins with a K, doesn't it? Does it begin with a K or P?
Oh, would not familiar with it.
Privet or something. Privet, something like that. Anyway, but there are people there living and working in that area. I know they're limiting their exposure probably. But you get told that some place will be uninhabitable for 20,000 years, or you know what I mean? That this has got a half-life. Pripyat, sorry, thank you, Pripyat. I weren't far off though, weren't I? That's off the top of my head.
Not too bad.
And fucking
Just not bad. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. But yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Like, and definitely, like, they've overestimated the amount of time it would take for radioisotopes to disperse and to dissolve because like the animals are thriving in that area, although the area where the cloud went, like, that's totally decimated. That'll probably take about 20,000 years to recover. Have you seen satellite imagery of that area? Like, it's a big long orange stripe that heads north away from the plant, like, and everything is completely dead in that particular zone. But like, that was just in the direction that the smoke and all the direction the wind was taking all the particles at the time, like, it was going north of the plant, so that area was decimated. Like, but as for the rest of it, like, it seems to be doing quite well, and I believe that there's also fish in the pools, in the waste storage pools around the plant, and I think there's like they do sort of like excursions there now where you can go up and go around parts of the plant and you can actually go on and see the fish. I'm not sure how long you can stay there, like, but it's definitely not as bad. The long-term effects aren't really as bad as what they have been suggesting now, and that I would agree with. Like,
Chris Partridge says they kept running the rest of the Chernobyl plant. Reactor 4, weren't it, that blew up? For another 5 years after the disaster. So Restry kept running. Apparently, I don't know whether that's true. I don't know whether it's false. I don't know. But
No, no, I've heard that before too. Yeah, that part of it was only that part of the plant really that got affected. Like, you know, and I did know about the rest of the plant kept running. So yeah, no, that's true.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Timothy McPherson's here. Uni, get in touch with me. I've been trying to fucking get in touch with you on Telegram. So get in touch with me.
Good man, Timothy.
Timothy McPherson. That's Uni, by the way.
And McPherson. I wonder where the fuck that comes from.
You're not banned now. Your channel, no, his channel got banned, didn't it?
Did it? Oh my god.
That's why he's a different name.
Right, right.
Right. Here we go.
Who would have thought? Who would have seen that coming? By the way, Jay.
What's that?
Uni's channel getting banned.
I know. Who would have seen it coming? I would have. I would have thought that would probably the safest channel on YouTube. Child friendly.
No conspiracies.
No conspiracies. And Uni used to start his show every single day with the same word.
Have you guys seen Hitler?
Yeah, Uni, you get in touch with me, mate. Honestly, you need to get in touch with me. Yeah, Uni got banned. I know. I can't understand what it was for. I can't. Anyway.
Yeah. It probably wasn't Uni personally. It was probably one of the dodgy feckers he does have on it. What about that New Yorker? I can't remember his name now. The New Yorker who's the pro-Hitler fella.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I can't think of his name either, and he's so memorable. I was chatting to him there for a few hours one evening, and it'll probably come back at some stage.
It probably will. It probably will. Can you? I'll tell you what. I've been trying to remember a name all day because I'm pretty sure I fucking saw him. Fucking hang on. That's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. Cheers for that. Keep up the good work, Robert. What were I saying? I saw something today, didn't I? What did I say? Oh, fucking hell. Do you know, that's the thing. If I fucking get distracted by something, whatever's in my head drops out and another thing comes in. It's like there's a queue behind me of things that each want to go in my head. And like it's one in, one out now. We're at that point in my life where I think I'm probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock in a nightclub. You know what I mean? At that time.
It's called a stack. It's called the stack, man. That's first in, last in, first out.
That's the one. I've got it like fucking man.
He can bring up names from 50 years ago, and then he can't remember what he was talking about 2 seconds ago.
You know what? I've just remembered his fucking name, so it don't matter. I would think it was the bloke who were. I don't know if you remember him years ago, but I'm sure I saw him today. But the bloke, there were a bloke a few years ago who reckoned he'd been fucking abused by an MP, and actually, I think it was Ken Clark. He was a black fella, and he did a walk and that. I can't fucking remember his name. I think it's called. Oh, no, I can't remember his name. Oh, no. Oh yeah. I remember it now. Ben Fellows. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah, Ben Fellows. Yeah, that's right, man. I haven't heard from him in a long time. You thought you seen him today, yeah?
I saw him today. I'm going to have to look into it and try and find out. Ben, that's it. Well done. Webby got it. Ben Fellows, yeah. But I remember him he was doing a walk with, fucking hell, there's another thing as well. I'm pretty certain I saw, what's his name? Oh, his mate. Come on, Webby, tell me. Ben Fellows' mate, but the other one. Pie and Mash Films, what's his name? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Pie and Mash Films. They did that video about Jersey. Oh God, what's it?
Oh, right. That was around the time when they were finding corpses underneath the school,
That's
wasn't
right,
there?
yeah.
Yeah. God, that was.
Oh, his name. But he were a well dodgy cunt. But I'm sure I saw him today, and I ain't seen him for a long, long time. Bill Maloney. Thank you, Webby.
Uh
There you
huh.
go. Bill Maloney. So that's who
Just
I have seen. I am pretty sure I've seen Ben Fellows and Brian Maloney, Bill Maloney.
bloody hell! You ain't got some half fair selection of weird people in Sheffield. Fucking hell.
No, I've not seen him in Sheffield. I've seen him online. I ain't seen Ben Fellows.
Oh, right. God.
If you're going to see Sheffield, you have to be out. I've not seen him online for so long. And then,
Right.
in
Right.
fact, I actually, the other night, I actually were on Bill Maloney's YouTube page and watching a couple of videos on there. Olders, yeah. Bill was, look, Ben, so were Ben. Bill and fucking Ben. Here we got Bill and Ben, the fucking flower pot men here. Ben Fellows and Bill Maloney. And I'm pretty sure I've seen them both online. But you see, the thing is, I've not seen them online for years. It must be 5 or 6 years that I've seen them.
Same as. Yeah.
Of any of them.
Yeah, because Ben Fellows, he was coming out with some pretty fantastic stories back in the day, like, like everything else. But I have to believe somebody, if somebody's going to go and throw their life open like that, you have to sort of like believe, like, whether you can verify any of it or not. Now that's another question, like, but you do have to give the benefit of the fucking doubt,
Zen Phoenix. Now, Maximizer says is he called Zen Phoenix? I think he called himself Zen Phoenix. Yeah, I remember that at the time. I don't remember it from this, from the thing I saw. Yeah. Oh, I've got to fucking this is Zen Phoenix. That's it. I need to write this shit down because I'm going to be making a couple of films. In me, like, that's what I've decided I'm going to do. In my spare time, I'm going to make some films. So I'll still be doing show, but I'm going to make some films as well. And I'm going to make I'm going to make films about like some of the older stuff and some of the older people that were about and how they fucking deceived people, because there's new people coming in all the time, that are realizing that there's things are not the way that they thought they were for all the years of their life. And what they need to do is, because I keep seeing them making massive mistakes that I made, but I made those mistakes years ago, so that they don't have. So if I can tell them, they don't have to, then, do they? Well, they can, but but they can look with one eye. It's fucking weird. So I'm going to make one, and I'm going to make a film about comedy as well, and the decline of comedy, because there is no fucking comedy anymore.
You see, we have a problem at the moment, like, yeah, but we have a serious problem at the moment, like, with the places like Twitter and especially a lot of these memes too going around. A lot of people don't research or don't, they'll see something on Twitter or they'll see a meme and they'll just take it as read. It's true, and then they'll share it like on their feed to show their friends. Oh, look, this is what's going on, and you know what? Most of it's all bullshit. Like, I had a tweet from my brother sent me a link there earlier on today about this. A link to a Twitter feed, and there was some dude going on about this weather bomb that was coming in from the Pacific and heading for California and was going to sort of like blow California up, like, and he says, did anybody hear about this storm? My brother says to me. So he says, well, I didn't hear about it. I heard that there was a bit of rain in California. So I actually fired up earth.nullschool.net, like, which is really good for tracking like weather, wind, and all sorts of crazy shit. Like, I had a look at the Pacific and there was nothing there, like, absolutely nothing there. And people see this stuff on these fucking short form sort of like forums like Twitter, like everybody gets to post a short video or a few words, and then you got this, everybody takes it as fucking read, this must be true, and then you get this fucking panic ensue, like, and it's probably, and most of the stuff is bullshit, most of it is lies, and you know, you need to do a video on critical thinking as well, not just critical thinking and how to do a little bit of basic fucking research. It's probably essential survival skills for going forward. Like, I can't, I don't believe a goddamn word, and I don't care which source it comes from, because I made a mistake there the other night. Actually, I still get caught out, believe it or not. A story came out the other night about Bakhmut, and it came from a source that I normally sort of like kind of half trust, like Slavigrad on the Telegram channels, on their Telegram channel, and apparently like they were saying that like Bakhmut was totally encircled. And it turned out the next day that no, it wasn't. Like the front line hadn't moved at all. Like so, even still, even though I'm pretty not too bad at research, and I usually check everything, sometimes I'll just let the ball fall. I'll just let it all drop, and I'll post something. So I had to take that fucking post down. It says, "Fucking hell, man, Jimmy, stop." Make sure that you check and verify every cunt, no matter how much you trust the cunts.
Yeah, because people make mistakes, and you don't want to make other people's mistakes as well, do you? That's the thing. We've all been guilty of it in the past. You see something and you share it, or you post it somewhere else, and then you find out that it's not quite what it seemed in first place. No, look, you're just taking it down. You're just saying, right, I was wrong about that, and that's it. It's gone. It's back. That's it. And if anyone comes up to me and go, "Oh, well, you posted about that," I go, "All right, then we'll don't listen to it then. See ya." It's fucking easy, isn't it? Well, people love this fucking argument and getting into it just seems like baiting each other all the time. Every single thing is baiting somebody else. Nobody can just like be happy for anybody. Everyone's got to bait somebody. Everyone's got to do something or fucking say something horrible. There we go. Both wrong uns. There we go. I told you, didn't I? Who was that? Who said that?
Oh, that there.
Oh, Brabozzo, yeah. Bilderberg, Watford, yeah, that were about 2013, that, weren't it? I think. But yeah. That were, I remember that. I remember. But yeah, Bill and Ben, both from fucking dodgy characters. I'm going to be doing a film on them. I'm going to be doing a film, not only them, but I'm going to be doing a film of all the old people that were around at the time, because people that are coming in now don't know anything about these characters, don't know any of the fucking lessons that they could have learned from these characters. So I'm going to try and put it into a film. I bought some fucking video editing software. So just wait, probably end of year or something like that it'll come out, but or middle of year, whatever I can do. But I've got some interviews to do as well. So that's what I've decided that I'm going to do. And that's me direction now. So
brilliant. You bought some video editing software.
Yes.
How much did that cost you?
It costed me $60. $60.
And you have the license outright now, have you?
Yes, I've got the license outright, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad, I suppose.
Well,
I mean, I was going to say,
you see, I get the help. I get the
support, yeah.
The support, yeah. That's the main thing. Because I don't know anything about video editing. Don't know anything about videos. I don't know anything about anything really. So I'm going to be doing this sort of like.
Well, look, it doesn't matter what you use. Like, I would have suggested to you to maybe try some of the open source video editors. Like, and if you ever needed help, like YouTube is great for tutorials and stuff like that. YouTube is probably the best place for learning shit on the interzones. And I know YouTube is crap in a lot of ways with censorship and like, but look, besides that, as far as tutorials for everything and anything, YouTube is a wonderful source. It's a wonderful resource in a way, really. I have to say, I'd be amazed by what you can find on it sometimes.
Tony's asked what program I've got. I've got NCH Suite, whatever that is. That's what it's called. I've only had a couple of goes on it. Look, I know there's loads of free stuff. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to fucking do it. I'm 50 fucking 2, which, by the way, is how many people are watching at the moment. 52 people watching this shit.
And
so
only
I've got-
one like. Only one like. Who's the smart arse who gave us the like?
Tony says it's okay anyway. So look, it was 60. Yeah, it was 60 quid. Yeah, it ended up being 60 quid. It were in Australian dollars, so it were really fucking weird. But ended up being about 63 quid or something daft like that. Yeah. Did Bill Maloney not try and stitch up Brian Harvey? Harvey had some stories to tell about Brian. Listen, Brian Harvey, I used to watch him. He's probably just as fucking mad as they are. Sorry, he's probably not as mad as they are. Sorry, he's madder than they are, but he's not as bad as they are. They're bad rather than mad. Brian Harvey's more like, he's a bit mad more than bad, innit? Don't you think? No, I don't mean mad. I don't mean that in a fucking derogatory way. I mean that mad as in angry and fucking frustrated. You know, I mean the bloke had the world in his hand, didn't he? He had the world in his fucking hands, and now he's living on benefits. That's got to be a huge fucking. I know. Look, it's got to be a huge sort of. He must think to himself, how did it get to here? And you know, this is. It just feels like to me that he were more angry with things rather than making shit up. And you know, he had recordings of Bill Maloney, and it's interesting that they've all seemed to have disappeared from online for having an online presence, because there were plenty of, even Brian Harvey. I've not seen Brian Harvey anywhere for a long time. I used to watch a couple of his lives once, and he were fucking stoned out of his tits. There were one where he were doing a live, and they come and arrested him at door. Did you see that one?
No.
And arrested him, right? And so he's filming him on his mobile, and like, you know, la la la, and they say, right, you're arrested. So they're going to have to cuff him and that. So they close his door, and his phone, he posts it through Letterboxd. So that's where he's filming from. So you get this like falling back of the thing onto the thing. You just see really fucking
weird.
You see, they've all seemed to have disappeared, you know, from each other. You know what I mean? And yeah.
That usually happens, like.
Sorry.
But what I am noticing is like all of these like previous sort of bullshit artists usually find a way to reinvent themselves and make themselves relevant again. Like, I'm seeing quite a few coming out at the moment. Like one particular character, David Wilcock, seems to be crawling his way back onto the fucking scene. That fucking bullshit artist, like, and
anybody who's fucking doing UFOs, it's bullshit, right? I don't care. Right? Anybody who's pushing that they know, it's bullshit. They don't. They haven't got a fucking clue.
No.
Nobody fucking knows. David Wilcock.
Anyone that's channeling Ra from the other fucking side needs fucking care and attention, I reckon.
Yeah, well, they do. Yeah,
I mean, like for him to think that he's a reincarnation of fucking Edgar Casey is a clear sign of derangement. Honest to God.
Although, aren't you? Look at him. He did it. Fucking. David Shaler. I got David Shaler booked on here. If I can fucking show you the messages between me and him, and it's his fucking profile, and messages, and he said he'd turn up, and everything didn't turn up. I didn't bother asking him why, so you know, I'm not going, well, why didn't he turn up? Because now he'll never come on this fucking show. But you know what I mean? He didn't fucking show up, and they're all, because they know they're going to get a fucking grilling on here. They know that they're not going to get a grilling, but they're not going to get fucking. They're going to get fucking found out if they're a wanker, because they know I've got a wanker radar that's like fucking. I can tell it a mile. I can tell a wanker from a mile off. I can tell, and sometimes I don't see them as wankers, but yeah. But he said he was fucking Jesus, didn't he? Well, Jesus, some fucking. Reincarnation or something. He said he were the son of God, and the second coming and all this shit, and then he fucking, you see what I mean? Then he starts dressing up as a woman and calling himself Dolores. Oh, that was his name, Dolores. Although it's not his name now because he's on Facebook as David Michael Shaler, but it's Dolores. That was his alter? That's who he became. And you see what I mean? You see what he did? He just got up and stood there, and just when he said he was the Son of God, he just did it. He was doing a talk. So everyone's there thinking he's going to do this talk about him being in MI5 and him and Annie Macon, what they went through, and the shit that they had in France when she got meningitis, and they reckoned that it were that particular strain of meningitis wasn't even known in that area of France, and all this sort of shit, and blah blah blah. But it comes up, he gets on fucking stage and proclaims himself the fucking savior of the fucking world. I mean, come on. And then what does he do? He dresses up in women's clothes. So he dresses up in women's clothes. He fucking proclaims himself fucking Jesus. So apparently Jesus is a transvestite, or now LGBTQ, or as I saw earlier on, and I didn't even know that this existed, and I don't even know why it's got this, but they've got now LGBTQ2 plus, right? So they've took as many letters as they fucking want. They're starting out fucking numbers. You know what I mean? They've got fucking numbers now. So, I mean, what's next?
Well, they've already got the special symbols too, because you've got the plus there as well. So they're using the special symbols as well. So
yeah, the plus, as in fucking
I don't know I know what LG stands for, like, but I have no clue about the fucking rest of them. I couldn't, and nor do I give a fuck, man. Couldn't give a fuck. Just piss off. Don't annoy me with your bullshit and your mental illness. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, Webby says, do you think he was warned? Making himself that target, no one takes him serious. That or death. So he's made himself a target on purpose. They've told him that. Now, I've told you this before. This is fucking absolute fucking truth. I took a message from somebody in America who told me, I was talking to on Skype, a guy called Killtown, I fucking said it, didn't I? Oh, fucking smack me in the head. But this bloke called Killtown asked me to go to Leeds, and I went to Leeds to deliver a message to David Shaler. I've told this story a million times.
Yeah.
I can't remember what message were. I cannot remember it, but I remember him saying to me, tell Killtown I'm a no-planer. And then a week later, he's on Sky News talking about the no-plane theory. He gets they're supposed to be on there talking about the Alexander Litvinenko poisoning that happened. Remember that one?
That was the plutonium or polonium, wasn't it? Polonium took him out, was it?
Yeah, polonium, and so they were supposed to be talking about that, and he turns it into about no planes at the World Trade Center. This is on Sky News, right? And it turns it into a story about to talk about no planes at the World Trade Center. So I get him that message a couple of weeks before. Then he's on Sky News. He derails that conversation about Litvinenko, which, by the way, Sky News must have been involved with because they just happened to have graphics of 9/11, images of 9/11 ready. I mean, video footage of 9/11 ready to go because he kept showing it. And he kept saying there were no planes. And then, boom, he's got to be gone. He's got
so
to,
they got you to do. They got you to. So, is it possible that they got you to go to deliver the NLP programming to him to get him to go to join this fucking?
If it does, I mean, what does that make me? What does that mean now? Did they do it to me? Is there a trigger word for me? I don't know.
Because obviously they programmed the message to self-destruct in you afterwards. It's kind of weird.
I don't know what it was. I can't remember what it were. I can't remember. Okay. I can remember answers plain as fucking day, but I can't remember. I can't remember fucking what they told me to say. Can't remember it. Message that I gave to a game. Can't remember.
Crazy, man. That's fucking crazy, though, isn't it? When you think about it. How far
Yeah.
away is Leeds?
They're
How
all
far
fine.
away is Leeds from you?
About 35 miles.
Oh, not too bad, but
It weren't
still.
far at all now. No, it's in West Yorkshire, isn't it? Just up road. So I don't know whether I were just geographically available or what. I don't know. I don't even know what it were. It might just be note. It might just be my head. I don't fucking know. But it just saying
Yeah. That wasn't around the time you were doing that heavy drinking, was it?
Well, no, it's just no. I mean, it happened. It definitely happened. But I'm just saying, it's just. Is it just weird? Weird shit happens to me all fucking time, all the time. I think I told you about that time I bumped into David Cameron. I fucking bumped
Oh
into
yeah,
David.
yeah.
You know, just weird shit. Just weird fucking surreal shit. My daughter were here a couple of weeks ago, and she were sat on a chair across from me, and her grandmother, her mother's mother, phoned her up, and she put it on speakerphone, as you know, and she was just
I
talking.
remember. Yeah.
And then her grandmother just starts a tirade about me. She don't know where Emmy is. She don't know I can hear. And then, boom, you know, and she said to me afterwards, Emmy says to me, because as soon as she started doing that, Emmy were then up and walking about and blah, 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 and trying to, really uncomfortable and wanting to get, I loved it, I thought it was nice. And then, and she's, you know, she gets off the phone and she said, she's never done that before, never mentioned you ever. She's never, ever mentioned you before. It just so happens that I'm here at your house. She rings me up and then that happens. I said, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care, but you know, I just thought it was funny. But just like weird shit like that happens. I don't know what it is. I really don't.
It's an odd universe, I have to say. There is a certain amount of chaos to this universe. The craziest things happen from time to time. Nothing crazy happens to me, though, I have to say. Not for a long time, anyway.
No.
Thank fuck. Thank fuck.
It hasn't happened to me well, apart from that. I suppose it's still happening to me, even though I stop in the house most of the time.
Yeah. Now my life is pretty mundane, and I kind of like it like that now. Years ago, I would have been into the mad shit, like, but look, I'm over that now. Fuck it.
No, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be doing that. Help for the UK. Oh, yeah, Robert. What did he say? Jason hasn't said guys yet. I said it once. I think I got away with it. Right, I said it once.
Have you guys seen Hitler?
Said it once, and he just said it then. But you know, yeah, we're all right, Robert. So what else? Question here? I can't remember what it were. We should expect to see photos of Ike in heels and a dress soon. You see, Ike's different, isn't he? Ike's different. He's already been there. He's gone the opposite way. You know, he's gone from being and all that.
Look at this. Yeah. Did you get some salve?
I can't. You know, I can't do it. Fucking Jimmy does it a lot better than me.
No, couldn't. It'd be hard to replicate that now, I have to say.
Myself, that's it. Myself, and everybody leaves. Play my piano. Don't forget to buy some salve from Dr. Robert. Oh dear, fucking hell. Right, well, we're nearly at the end of the show, aren't we?
Oh, hold on. No, not quite. Can't. Is that for certain mascara? Is it Jenny Gao, BBC Formula One commentator?
I saw that as well. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Oh shit. Well, it's kind of normalized now, you know. I don't think anybody bats an eyelid. Well, like none of our tribe do anyway. But it's like just another day in paradise.
Yeah, there was someone else as well I saw that had 2 strokes. I can't remember I can't remember the context of it, but he'd had 2 strokes. It was still alive. It was still alive. But yeah, two strokes. He'd had 2 strokes. He was only a young man. He'd got little kids. They were because I remember seeing the picture. They were his missus and like 4 kids or something stood next to his bed. You know, while he's getting it. The old. I don't know. What did he do that for? Why would you let someone take a picture in your hospital bed? Elvis died of a heart attack today. Yes, Elvis is gone.
Poor cunt died again.
Vinegar Strokes. That'd be a good name, that, wouldn't it? Vinegar Strokes.
Actually, there was a new meme vid came out there. I don't know what he said. I don't know if this is going to work, right? But I'm going to try. I'll do a bit of a share screen, and I have to reroute my audio as well too. So hopefully you'll be able to hear this, right? Hopefully, and just if I throw this up here and. Oh no, that's not the one. That's not the one.
Space that is completely secure.
Anyway, come here. Was the audio working okay there?
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't get. I wanted to test it beforehand, and that wasn't exactly the one that I wanted to show. But that's been blowing up this week too. Have you been following that story of the classified documents coming out?
Oh, in his garage.
No, it was in 3 different places. Yeah, there was a garage, in the house, and then the Babylon Bee put out a great one earlier on. 4th batch of documents found when Biden went for a colonoscopy, and they have the camera going up his butt, and you can see the top secret docs up his butthole.
It's perhaps best that you didn't play that then.
But that wasn't the one that I wanted to show. But I think it might be safe. It might be safe to actually.
You think it might be safe?
I think it might be safe to play this particular one. Yeah.
No, what the guarantee? Go on, then, get it.
We'll give it a go anyway. But I have to say, this was very good.
Are you or a loved one suffering from a medical coincidence? You want proper medical care, but you don't want people sniffing around asking a whole bunch of questions about what might be causing your problem. At the Kaufman Institute for Coincidence, we won't look into the cause of your heart or other problem. We'll just fix it. That's right. We promise to only look at your symptoms. We won't get all curious looking for causes, because that could get your employer or your doctor into some legal hot water. And nobody wants that. At Kaufman, we understand that coincidence is now the leading cause of death.
Hey, we've got another coincidence over here.
If we want to operate at the speed of science, there's no time for looking for causes. No pesky questions about drugs or vaccines you may have been given. At Kaufman, we specialize in the effects and leave the causes to the conspiracy theorists. And let's be honest, we know the cause anyway. It was a coincidence, right? For each new patient, Kaufman's talented team of doctors strap on their blinders and look directly at the problem area, usually the heart, just like the CDC recommends. Our main campus now treats myocarditis, blood clots, heart arrhythmia, stroke, heart attack, magnetic skin, difficulty breathing, full body blisters and burning, convulsions, kidney failure, memory loss, cancer, sudden death, and much, much more. Give your coincidence the attention it deserves, but not the wrong kind of attention. At Kaufman, schedule your appointment today at kaufmancoincidence.com and receive a doctor's note with a real science-y sounding explanation to provide to your anti-vax friends, proving to them it was definitely not the vaccine that caused your coincidence. Kaufman, because coincidences happen pretty much all the time.
Official medical.
Anyway, I hope that was safe. I think it was fairly safe to play that one.
Oh well, we you know, I could do with a week off anyway.
Well, there was no medical advice in it anyway, at least.
We'll just invade Robert's page.
True. Yeah, well, unis is out of the question now, so fucking hell, we're running short on escape cubby holes.
Exactly. Well, we've got Alter Edge Media, which is on there, and don't forget to go on to if you want to go on Rumble and subscribe. When I get 25 subscribers, I'll start streaming on there as well. I've got at the moment I'm streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'll just get rid of the Twitch because YouTube, Twitch and Facebook are pretty much useless. So I'm going to change that to Rumble and Odyssey. But the thing is with Odyssey is if you get up to 2 hours, over 2 hours, it sort of fucks off. So yeah, but that's what I'm going to do. So if you want to go on to Odyssey, look for Raconteurs News on Odyssey and on Rumble. You may find us. Well, if you find us, can you? If I get to 25 on Rumble, I'll be able to stream on there live, and then that gives us a bit of, gives us a bit of leeway, doesn't it? And gives us a bit of somewhere to go.
How have we been doing over on the Rumble?
I don't know. I don't know where I don't know where it tells you how many subscribers you've got.
I'm just going to check now and see if I can. Oh, we've got 14 followers there at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll post that link into the chat, and if anybody has a couple of seconds to spare, just pop over there and give it a little follow, and see if we can get streaming on a sort of like a half safe place to talk about complicated issues without tripping up and losing a channel. So and anyway, also give Starfish Troopers a little bit of a follow as well too, and you'll find them on Rumble. They're trying to reach that magic 25 number as well too. As I say, they're quite controversial and do get like into trouble on YouTube quite a lot. So they really could do with a little bit of a hand to get those numbers up on Rumble. So if you can find them there, maybe Pete will throw the link into the chat there if he's still around.
Yeah. So and also Steve Tagoose as well. Don't forget to. Is he on? Is he on there? Anyway, just follow him. Follow his page. Follow his. He's on Thursdays, isn't he? Thursday night.
Yeah. And it's a good show actually. It's a mix of music and bits and pieces of his mind. It's fascinating to watch him. So Steve Turgoose, Turgoose, isn't it? Steve Turgoose. Isn't it?
Turgoose, yeah. Steve Tagoose. Steve. So there you go. He's on. I think he does. It's called the Mystery Show. I think is on a Thursday night and sometimes on weekends as well. But Monday and Wednesdays is cookies, and Wednesdays you've got a choice. You can go on to Starfish Poopers or UK because Robert usually uses Wednesday night. So you got a choice, and if you watch one, then you can watch the other on repeat. That's pretty easy, isn't it? So anyway, what else? What else did you have to say? Did I have to say what else? I don't think I did. That's it. Have we got to plug out else? Let's just take a minute to think. Who else should we plug? No, there isn't anybody.
No, there's not. I wouldn't suggest anybody else. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest anybody else. No.
Jimmy O's.
Yeah, of course.
Joker. Yeah, Jimmy O. Fucking hell, nearly be all right forgetting about him. All right. Anyway, what's happened to Watson? Watson's he's just knocking about somewhere. He don't come in because I closed door. See, because my wife goes to bed, especially on a Friday because it's 9:30 start. She's usually in bed by then, so I don't want to get in. I don't want all my shit going into this. So he's outside, so door's shut. But he's outside and he's all right. He's outside door. He'll be having a piss in a minute. So there you go. Are we going to?
He's not the only one. He's not the only one. This dog here is going to be going for a piss too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's the after chat anyway. If anybody wants to jump on, and we will, we'll be on for a bit afterwards. Whatever. I'm going to go downstairs and fucking get myself a drink and whatever, and do all that shit. So anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. I hope everything goes well for you, whatever you're doing. And, if you're not feeling well, I hope you feel better soon. And you've got to feel better. You've just listened to Raconteurs News for an hour and 39 minutes. What's not to feel good about that, eh? Hey, Jim.
The highlight of the week. Huh?
Anyway,
but it's a good slot though. It's a pretty good slot. It's the top slot of the week. The Friday night.
It is. It's all right, isn't it? I like it.
It's like in the DJ world. Everybody just be vying for that particular spot, like where people aren't too fucked and are just getting into things that they're not too fucked. So it's a really great time this early on a Friday evening.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I were up at 5 this morning, 5 o'clock, and I came downstairs and I sat and I was going to have a joint, and then I thought, no, I can't be arsed. I just sat there for a bit, and then I had it all again. Oh, I'm gonna tell Jimmy I got this, or I'm gonna listen. I've never ever do it, but every time I've been off, it's been genuine. If I've been ill, it's been genuine. But I do it every fucking time. Every morning when I wake up, I think to myself, I'll do it. I won't do it, and I know I'm gonna do it, but it's just I have to have this fucking battle with myself in my head. So anyway, it ain't that easy. So we appreciate you listening. We really do, and I love this little group, me, and long may it continue, at least until the end of the year, anyway. So we'll see you Tuesday. Last word, Jim.
Good night, everyone. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll chat to you Tuesday. And assuming we're all still alive anyway, and didn't catch the highly dangerous and infectious coof XBB 1.4. Well, yeah, that's it. But as long as they only flatten Ukraine, I'm okay. I shouldn't say that. we're on an enemy platform here. So we're all,
right, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday. Turn on a bit.